Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Let's use some of those pre-made Dollar Tree bullet journals. Stay tuned. So y'all know that I love going into the Dollar Tree. I love finding unique things that I can take and repurpose. Well, in a recent video, I showed you these pencil holders, and I went back to the Dollar Tree after that video because when I was in the Dollar Tree, I noticed that they also had them in a really nice mint color. And when I went back to the Dollar Tree, all of the mint colored pencil holders were gone, as well as these. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by. And welcome to all of my new subscribers and to all of my new friends. Welcome back to all of my longtime subscribers and longtime friends. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a part of your 2023 with me. So even though I didn't find these, I did continue to browse because when I bought this journal, and I thought that it would be a great idea to take it, continue to use it as a journal, but make it better than this, what we have here. So knowing that I wanted to make this more than it was, I decided that I would just spend some time looking around the Dollar Tree to see what else they had that I could use on this. And I happened to be over in the book section, so I picked up some books. And we're going to take these books and take this journal, and we're going to combine the two. I'll give you a closer look in just a minute at what we're going to be making, but y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all. So again, I want to give you a closer look at this journal. It's just a bullet style journal. And I don't even know how many pages you get in here because it doesn't say, but I'm going to be combining more than one to make today's project. And then I have this book that I got at the Dollar Tree. It's a hardbound book, has great bones. I'm not even going to share the title of the book with you because the title of the book really is kind of crappy. And I'm not even interested in that. But what I'm interested in is the body of this book. So if you want to make some of these journals and you don't have any chipboard or you don't feel like piecing chipboard together and you have an old book or you have an old crappy book that you want to use, go ahead and use it. I'm an avid reader, so I'm very selective about the books that I would use for a project like this. It would have to be one that I bought at a thrift store or I bought at the Dollar Tree that I'm not really interested in and probably serves no useful purpose, which is what this book really doesn't serve any useful purpose. So I don't mind taking it apart to use the bones of the book, which are great bones. And here is one of the journals that I've made. I used some beautiful sheet paper to cover this. When I laid it down, y'all, I laid my book down sideways on the print. I really wanted these prints to come this way, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with how this looks. I added some crinkle seam binding. And then when you open it, you can see that I have a nice little journal. This one is still drying, so I am not going to open it all the way. But as you're able to see, we have a journal of just bullet page after bullet page, and you can go through and decorate this exactly how you want. It really is a very nice journal. So what I tried to do was I tried to make sure the book that I was going to use closely matched the journal in height and width. So this works out fine for me. So this is what we're going to be making. So I have a book. I'm not even going to give you the measurements because if you want to use this technique, just to make sure that A, your journal isn't too wide for the book body, and B, it's not longer than the book body, then you're good to go. So I am going to bring in my finger blade, and I am going to start with a very sharp finger blade, and I'm just going to cut in like that in the front as well as the back. And you'll be able to see that there is some stitching in here. So all I'm trying to do is just go in and free that. And let's take it from the front and pull that out just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and just trim off this piece. I am not going for perfection. I can also go ahead and remove as much of this as I'm able to get off. Doesn't matter if I have some left on there because we will be placing down a brand new liner. So y'all, all I want to do is have it like this. Now, if this was a book that I was really interested in, I would actually save these pages because we can use them on other projects. And I'll probably show you some of the things that we can do with these pages, but not this particular book. Now, this particular book, the reason why I'm not opening it or showing any of it is because it is an adult-themed book that just happened to be in the Dollar Tree. Never would have thought it, but it fit what I needed in terms of the body. So I went ahead and got it, but I really don't need this part, so I'm going to trash it. And I'm going to go ahead and cover the back with tape so that we can place it down on our paper. So what I'm doing when I'm placing the tape is I'm placing it down, and I'm going to make sure that I get really good coverage on this. Then I'll take my big old spatula, and we're going to make sure that we have tape in the grooves as well because we want to get it as covered as possible. Then we're going to take this, and this is the paper that I've chosen to use. This is actually some wrapping paper that I had, and it's the leftover sheet. So I think I'm going to use it to make a sweet little journal. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this around, and then we're just going to take the book and I'm going to place it down right there, making sure that I get it nice and stuck. And I'm going to use my big old spatula to place this part down because we do want to get a nice stick. And then I can take this piece and we're going to place it down like that. Then I'll just flip it over, making sure that we have a nice stick on this, and then I'm going to trim away some of this excess on all four sides. So there is our book jacket. I think it is going to be gorgeous. I am just going to take this, stand it up, fold this over on all four sides just so that I can get my fold over points. And then, like we always do, I am just going to do mitering at the corners. So then we'll take some tape and we're going to run tape along all four edges. And a lot of you are going to say, why didn't you just use chipboard? Guys, I could have just used chipboard, but this is just one of those ways that we can take a couple of things that already existed, join them together, and have a beautiful project, especially if you don't have chipboard handy or you don't feel like cutting chipboard but you want to make a journal. This is a great way to do it. So I am just going to go in, get this glue nice and stuck. Then I'm going to take some tape and we're going to place tape on these edges. So now we'll just peel away the tape backers from all four sides. I'm going to take this end and we're just going to fold it over. We'll take this end and we'll just fold it over. Then I'll peel away the tape from the two long ends, but before I fold them over, I am just going to add a little bit of my snail tape runner to the ends to make sure that I have good tape coverage. Then I'll stand it up, and starting from the middle, I'll fold over and then go out to the ends. We'll do the same thing here. go ahead and add some tape to these ends. Stand it up, fold over in the middle, and then fold out. And y'all, there we have a nice little outer jacket to our book. In a minute, we'll be able to really define that indentation point there. You can see how that already looks, and I think I want this to be the front. So I have already cut out some papers to go on the inside, but I need to see how they're going to fit, and I need to see if I need to cut out any more papers, and I think that I'm okay. So what I did was I took 2 of the bullet journals and I cut them. So I'm going to be using 2 of these journals to fill in this particular journal here. And it's pretty simple to do. On these journals, I'm not sure if you can see that, but they have like a natural little fold when you open it. That is where I'm going to be cutting. So I'm going to take my ruler, place it on that line, and you'll see it when you buy these and you open it once. You'll see that line start to form. And it actually comes in about 1/8 of an inch. So all I'm going to do is just take my knife, my finger blade, press it against the ruler, and I changed my blade so that I would have a nice sharp blade, and I'm just cutting through. And then that piece will come off, and you will end up with your bullet pieces, but you're also going to end up with a front and a back that you can save and use this as scrap on something else. But that is how we would cut these. Now for me, I can cut these using my electronic cutter that was gifted to me by VEVOR, and I can cut these very easily on that electronic cutter. So if this were something that you were interested in doing, let's say to make a whole bunch of these to sell at a craft fair, that electronic cutter will come in very handy for me. It's not for everyone, but I'm going to have that video linked below if you're interested in seeing it, just in case you're one of those people who might want to look at that machine even more. This is a non-sponsored video. I just thought I would mention it because it is a great way to cut my papers pretty quickly. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to set it to the side for just a minute because I want to go ahead and glue my pages together. So we're going to take our papers, tap them to get them very even, and then I'm just going to use some clips to close them like this. And so then I'm just going to take some glue, and I'm going to put some drops of glue down from one end to the other. And I'm going to be very generous with my glue. Then I'll take my finger and I'm just going to spread this glue. And if I need to add more, wherever I need it, I am just going to add more glue because I want to make sure that I have very good glue coverage on this entire piece. And then what we're going to do, y'all, is we're going to let this dry completely before we attach it to the book. So I think I have enough glue on there. We're going to let this dry and then we'll be able to attach it. All right, so while the book is drying, we can go ahead and place down our liner piece. And the size of my liner piece depends on how long this is and how tall it is. So I measured, and this is 11 3/4. So all I did was took off 1/4 of an inch. And so I cut it 11 1/2 this way. Then it was 8 1/2 this way. And I cut it at 8 1/4 this way. So when you're trying to figure out how to make your liner, just take however long it is and however tall it is and reduce it by 1/4 of an inch. So I reduced it 1/4 of an inch this way and 1/4 of an inch this way. So now I'm just going to take my tape and we're going to place our tape down on the inside like this. And basically I'm doing exactly what I would be doing if I was starting from scratch with a chipboard piece. And I'm just making sure that I get it down on the inside. Then I'm going to take the liner and we're going to place tape on all 4 sides of the liner. Then we're going to remove the tape backers from both and join these 2 pieces together. So I have these 2 pieces of crinkle seam binding and I am just going to place them in the tape like that. And then I'll just add some glue all the way to the end because I don't like for my crinkle seam binding to lift up, and I know that my reptile glue will hold that in place. Then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it in like that. Add some glue and we'll take this piece and just place it there. And I'm standing so that I can try to get some decent placement here. I'm going to put that right there and right there. Sometimes when you're sitting and looking at the placement of the liner when you're trying to put it down, looking at it from a seated position can sometimes distort what you're actually seeing and you might not get the best placement. Sometimes even when I stand up, I don't get the best placement, but I have found that it helps. So I'm just going in to make sure that I have a good stick, especially on the spine. So then I'm just going to fold this and I'll go back and just gently reinforce the natural fold of that spine like that. And you can see that fold is there, but you can also see what a beautiful journal cover we have. It started with the good bones of a pre-made book, but we're taking that book and we're turning it into what we need for it to be. So before I actually put my pages in, I am just going to take them to see how they're going to fit right in there. And I'm pretty pleased with how that looks. So now I'm just going to take some glue and I'm going to put that glue right down the middle. I can undo this because it is dry enough, and then I'm just going to add some more glue because I want to make sure that I am going to have the best possible stick on this. So I'm just going to spread that glue out some more. I already know that my pages are already pretty well stuck together, but I added the extra glue just to make sure that I have very good glue coverage. I am just going to take this and smoosh it around in that glue that I placed in the well of the spine. I'll turn this around just to make sure that I have a really good stick on it. And then I'll go to the back to make sure I have a good stick in the back as well. We're going to give this about 15 minutes to dry, and then I will be back. All right, y'all, so the pages have been in for about 15 minutes, and because of the amount of glue that I used, I really need to give this some more time to dry. This is one of those projects when I make books like this, I normally let them set for 4 hours before I even try flipping through it. And ordinarily, I make them and I let them set overnight. And that way, when I get up in the morning, everything is nice and dry. But I'm going to do a very gentle flip through so that you can see that we have our pages in our book. And like I said, they really need to dry. I can tell they still need to dry because I can see that the glue is wet. But I'm going to go ahead and just tie this off. We're going to let this one dry overnight. And adding that crinkle seam binding really does just add a little cuteness to this. So there is our crinkle seam binding ribbon. I'm going to take these corner protectors that I have and just add some of my reptile glue to the back. Reptile will hold this very well. And we're just putting some down. And I'll just take these and we're going to put them in the two corners. One there and one at the top. And for right now, I think that this is all I'm going to do to this book. I haven't decided if I want to add a couple of pockets on the inside or what I want to do with it, but I am going to leave it as is for right now. And we'll let these sit here for a moment and then they'll dry as well. But wasn't that a super simple way to take one of the Dollar Tree journals as well as a Dollar Tree book, it costs $1.25, and turn it into a nice sweet little journal for about maybe $3.50 total, if that. We now have these beautiful designer-like bullet journals. I can put 2023 on the top if I want. I can put the person's name. I can go on the inside and just start adding some embellishments. Completely up to you on how it is you decide to decorate your book turned into a journal. But I hope that you have enjoyed this process, and if you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.